We're live, and it's been a hectic couple days. Not gonna lie to you guys. Well, tonight we had like an announcement and a big announcement. So I thought I'd come on here and I'd talk about it, and hopefully some of the movie club comes in. I didn't go online and let anybody know that I was going to be doing a video. So let's kind of do that now. Let's do that while we're right here. So if you're watching right now, you can kind of be part of it. Uh, and hey, Reality's an Illusion. We are talking about double dipping and Blue Underground tonight. My last video was done here with my dad. Hey, Mug, which was a really great video to do. It was a joy to have him here with me because it gives you guys a better idea of my of where my taste come from. So I'm gonna talk about that a little bit later. So it's been a it's been a hectic couple of days. Hey, and ready. So, but Dad's not feeling the best. He actually got sick afterwards and had to go into the hospital for a few days. Fingers crossed, everything's good. He should be out by Saturday, but it's been different. He's cool, but needless to say, it's been a it's it, I'm wishing him well. Anyway, so tonight we're Blue Underground main announcement, and for me, it's a pretty big one. Um, Summer's still here. Um, Tonight, they announced that they're putting out a special 4K. Hey, Asian movie enthusiast, thank you, Mike. Hopefully, yeah, he should be. He's feeling better. Um, we took him in yesterday morning, and and he had like a kind of a pancreatic attack, and so they had to put him on the IV, keep him in. Um, Went to see him, went to see him last night. It took a while to get a room because with hospitalism, we got one. We got a room. He got a room today. It's actually a really nice room, and he's resting in bed and hopefully watching a movie on his tablet. So, the One Grounds announcement today basically it kind of rocked my world because I'm a huge fan of this movie, um, and it kind of cements where Blue Underground is going as a company. They're doing a 4K restoration, a big like restoration for House by the Cemetery. And if you watch my channel for very long, you know that one, I'm a huge Lucio Fulci fan, and two, House by the Cemetery is one of my favorite Fulcis. So double bonus there. It kind of lets us know that if you've been following Blue Underground, you've been getting their stuff recently, and they've put out some amazing sets in the last year. It looks like this is what they're doing right now. For a while, Blue Underground they were kind of just kind of a lull. Thank you. Um, but right now, what looks like what we're seeing is they're taking like their big titles and they're slowly like like making pretty much ultimate versions of these titles. They're like doing 4K restorations. They got the lenticular cover, which is kind of their thing. Um, and they're getting they're getting the CD soundtracks, which Mug just mentioned there, um, and that should be. I'm excited about that. So my original edition of House by the Cemetery, and I've shown this one recently, was this set right here, which is the Gates of Hell trilogy, and I got this from Arrow under their Aerodrome label, and was super stoked. Yeah, exactly, double dipping. Super stoked to get this. Now, as great as this is, it's got some features on here. It's got towards your duckling, classics, and this has of course this is the Beyond. It has City of Living Dead, and it has the House by the Cemetery, and this is a really cool set. I would never get rid of this set. But that being said, Arrow put out Blu-ray editions of all three of these films. So once I knew, this is when I first started collecting Arrow. I knew I really liked Arrow. I knew I needed to get the other one. So the first one is this one right here, House by the Cemetery. And this is the original window box edition of House by the Cemetery, with the four different covers and the poster and kind of little booklet, with a bunch of features on here. I cannot wait to upgrade to the Blue Underground edition of this one as well. Will I ever get rid of this one? Hey, JR. Doing okay. All things considered, doing okay. Um, I'm yeah, I'm super looking forward to getting a new House by the Cemetery. It's one of my favorites. I like Dr. Freudenstein. I like that really freaky, creepy, annoying boy. But I didn't stop there. See, I had to upgrade other ones as well. So I went out and I upgraded City of the Living Dead to the Arrow edition. I actually really like this cover. I would love to see a bigger, like this is a nice edition of City of the Living Dead, but I do want to see an upgraded edition of this. Does Blue Underground, they do, don't they? Because I think I've got somewhere here a Blue Underground edition of City of the Living Dead as well. Because I bought it on DVD first, and then I found the Blu-ray later on. I'm pretty sure I got it here. I'd have to go look over my Blue Undergrounds, which are over there, which I'm not going to do right now, but I'll check afterwards. But City of the Living Dead, I upgraded that on from Arrow, and of course, when The Beyond came out, which I think is a classic, utterly fantastic film, I upgraded that to the Steelbook. And I'll be honest with you, like there were steelbooks I think for City of the Living Dead, and there was a steelbook. I think there was a steelbook for House by the Cemetery as well. But The Beyond was the best looking of the Arrow steelbooks that came out. Hey, Light Terror. Welcome, dude. Uh, I'm super stoked about the new House by the Cemetery coming out. So this was probably one of my favorite steelbooks that I've ever owned. I double dip a lot. I got certain things that if it's a movie that I really like, I don't mind double dipping or triple dipping. Uh, Basically, you got to have either a new restoration or new features, preferably both. Then I'm in like flame. I love the Arrow window boxes. I mean, I wish that they would do, every once in a while, maybe like do another one of the window box editions. Kind of like have it like be something special, something like they put like one or two out, like maybe just one out a year. Do it during an Arrow sale, like kind of like a retro throwback, like a retro window box edition of a title. I would be all in for that. Surprise us with it. Kind of maybe do a slight upgrade to what the window boxes were, and like get people kind of excited about the history of Arrow. Would have been really great to see a window box title come out during this year because it was the big anniversary, Arrow anniversary. So it would have been really nice to see them do something like that. So before Maniac, this was the only thing I had, was this DVD edition of Maniac. I always kept saying I was going to upgrade to the Blu-ray. I never did. Then this got announced. And needless to say, I completely upgraded. And I'm so glad I did. If you've never upgraded on any of these releases, on these Blue Underground 4K releases, I'm going to tell you right now, they're incredible. The restorations are insanely good. You think you know how good they're going to be, and then you watch them. Else what else? Yeah, I need that too. I got the 88 films one, but I can say it, Brian, because basically, here's the thing. I only got the DVD of 88 films, like Alice Sweet Alice. So I think that's that puts me in the clear with that one. It's going to be harder telling my better half I want to get House by the Cemetery, because I've got at least 2 or 3 copies of the film. But incredible. I got to have that release. So yeah, Maniac. This was an amazing edition when they put it, and the new features, the fact that they had all the old features, and the old features were good, especially the Joe Spinell story. That's really good. If you haven't checked it out, definitely do. But just to see this stuff, and just to see, like Mug mentioned, just to see the extra footage that's on here. Incredible. Blue Underground are putting out definitive releases of films, and you can't get much better than that. I mean, they're putting out definitive releases of certain films. I got the Zombie Flesh Eaters edition when it came out from Arrow Video. Uh, I can't. Like, I definitely can't. This I thought this was going to be forever the definitive edition of this film. You didn't like the remake? I thought it was okay. I mean, I can understand not liking it though, because it's definitely a hit or miss for people. Like, this was a great edition of the film. And I thought, okay, this is as good as it gets. You know, this movie's not going to get any better than this edition right here. It even had a steelbook in that there. Hey, Kubrick lover, did you hear, man? Did you hear about the new one? And then this happened. This is one of my favorite editions that I got in my collection. I'm a big fan of the movie Zombie, just so you guys know. I've always been a huge fan of this one. Um, that's the one. Like, that's the same. Which cover did you go for? See, I went, Logan. I had to go. Hey, Ken. I had to go for the eye injury one for two reasons. One, it's a killer scene, and it's, you remember it in the film. Two, my oldest, she is really squeamish about eye injury things, so being a bit of a jerk, I got the eye injury one. We got the zombie with the worms coming out. That's cool. They're all cool ones, and they're all there. I actually thought about grabbing all of them, but I really couldn't do it. So I picked the cover that just stood out to me, like, personally the most, and one that I could get my kids squeamish with, and had to pick it up. I still have yet to pick up New York Ripper and Two Evil Eyes, because I think Two Evil Eyes is the latest one coming out. At this point, they don't, Ken. That's the thing. Right now, Anchor Bay has a bunch of titles that they can work on. If they can go out and give definitive editions of films that they already got, like stuff like Living Dead at the Manchester Morgue, I think that's going to be definitely going to be released by them. With a big edition, you're going to see things like, well, obviously, that, like, I'm expecting, like, maybe another edition of maybe a Venom down the road. I don't know. I got a good edition of Venom, so I'm not sure if I'd. You really? Yeah, it is. It is one of his like darkest like films. It's a mean spirited film, New York River. There's no two ways about it. Like, you got to know that going in. I punch you this way, like, me and my better half watched New York Ripper together once. I wouldn't subject her to watch that with me again, but it's a favorite of mine. But no, she saw it once. That was enough for her. Tonight, I'm doing the dishes right now upstairs. So it's Dr. Pepper. Hey, George. Um, but they've been doing, like, these incredible editions of films. When they put out the Stendhal Syndrome edition, again, an amazing edition, and a very underrated film. Uh, the side note, the film. Thanks, Ken. Yeah. Oh, the doctor said he should be out by Saturday, so hopefully, fingers crossed. It gets out Saturday. Then I'm going home with them for a couple weeks. So I'll be doing some videos over there, and it should be good. Uh, I'll keep you updated. But I want Trauma. Dario Argento made one Giallo, like, specifically for the North American market. Um, Thanks, Brian. And that is Trauma. Trauma starred Asia Argento, Brad Dourif, and Piper Laurie was in Trauma as well. I gotta open up your stuff here because it's going by so fast. I do apologize that I'm not catching all the comments that you guys are making. The Blue Underground went from like pretty much like almost like they were lost to like really, really like really up in their game, really coming forward and like kind of blowing us out of the water with these releases. And that's the thing. They can. I remember the days of Anchor Bay, the early days of Anchor Bay. Remember those? When you get like 20 different versions of Evil Dead and Halloween and Evil Dead 2. And they were pretty much just different covers. Uh, more times than that was just different covers. Every once in a while you get like a different cut if you were lucky. But there's like another cover for Evil Dead and another box for Evil Dead and another cover for Evil Dead and here's Halloween and here's the TV cut and here's another cover of Halloween type of thing. Anchor Bay, luckily they're not like Blue Underground is not doing an Anchor Bay. They're actually going out there and kind of doing what I would call kind of a snaps. Is they're I don't know what the release date is yet. Hey Steve. Well, what's new is that Blue Underground is doing an ultimate 4K restoration of Hey Cool Blue are doing ultimate 4K restoration of Lucio Fulci's classic House by the Cemetery, which is an amazingly fun film, an amazingly brutal film. Got some really brutal kills. So Logan, if you were bothered by some of the kills in New York Ripper, there is a particularly brutal kill. I agree, because I want that Django release that Arrow put out. There's a particularly brutal kill in House by the Cemetery, and I'm guessing you've seen it. But if you haven't, I think it's the babysitter, right? Is it the babysitter or like it's upstairs and she gets like her face bashed in to like there's teeth flying out. It's brutal. It's a brutal scene. Not for the little ones, obviously, but he was gonna say well, I'm babysitting some kids. What are we gonna watch? Barney or Plastic Man, Super Friends? No, House by the Cemetery. That's the one for the kiddies. No, obviously that's not what you're gonna watch, but it is a fantastic film. And it gets me like thinking what else they can do, what else they can put out, and they have like there's a wide range of films that they got, and almost every one of them, like I can honestly say, yeah, if they put it at 4K, there's a strong thing. If they came out tomorrow and said, oh, by the way, next year we're putting out a 4K like 3-disc edition of something like God Told Me to, I'd probably be there for that. I'm a huge Larry Cohen fan. I think they did was a 99 Women. Not sure if I want a 4K of that one. They got a 3-disc that one already, so that one's pretty good. Same with I think Venom has a nice 2K, kind of a like 2-disc edition, like a really nice one. So I don't think we're going to need like an upgrade on Venom anytime in the near future. Great film though, guys. By the way, guys, if you have not seen the movie Venom, it's a really cool film. It's got Oliver Reed in it, and incredible stuff. Great cover too. I need a drink to keep going. Plus, he must have really hated women. I don't know. But I do think that he definitely has certain issues. So maybe not as strong as Sam Peckinpah's issues, but it's hard to say because Susan York, exactly. That's the name of the person, Cool Blue, on the cover of Venom that I was trying to remember, and I could not for the life of me like remember her name. So thanks a lot. The thing is that a lot of people that do that, I used to write like super horror, creepy stuff. I actually haven't seen the back. I've seen the box, but I haven't seen the film yet. And I find that people that write or act or in that type of stuff who do dark material are usually like the most like gentle people that you're ever going to meet because they get all their any aggressions out on the page or on the stage, whichever way you want to put it. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but with all that being said, yeah, he probably had a few issues there. I'm not gonna lie, because it's not just the murder sequences either. In In the New York Ripper, there's a scene, and I won't go in, in case there's kids to watch or people have their children in the background. I'm going to try and be respectful of that. Is that there's a scene in a diner that if you've seen New York Ripper, I don't have to say anything else but that, right? Uh, but yeah, if you know the diner scene, it, it's probably in a film like it made me uncomfortable when I was watching it. So I can imagine like how some people might have felt with that sequence. I mean, like forget like some of the murder stuff. That sequence was the one that got me. Hey, Dave Katana, are you excited? Dave Katana, you're a Fulci fan, right? Are you excited about House by the Cemetery? Because this is awesome to me. This is like this is killer. Um, I want more of these in my collection. Uh, I got to get New York Ripper. I love the case of New York Ripper. Of course, they started with I think they started with Zombie, right? And then they did Maniac second, and then it was New York Ripper. Then it was Two Evil Eyes, which I've only got a DVD of that one, so I really do need to upgrade that one. And see, Fulci had something with Donald Duck. There must have been some kind of like Donald Duck trauma in his past, because it's not the only time he uses like the duck, like Donald Duck, like the duck motif. Because of course, don't torture a duckling. It's used in there as well. So I don't know what happened to to Lucio Fulci and ducks, but or Donald Duck, but something happened that totally scarred him, and he kind of used it in a few of his films, but most prominently in New York Ripper and in Don't Torture Duckling. And it works in New York Ripper. I mean, as you would think that if I said, okay, there's a movie. I haven't got the press comics yet. I really need to look into those. Uh, there's a movie where a guy like brutally kills women. Oh, and he also talks like Donald Duck. That might sway you away from not watching this film. It might say, yeah, I was there at the beginning, but I think I'm out. I think I'm out on this one. I'll sit this one out. But then you actually go and you see the film, and it's so well done. I mean, it's obvious who the killer is, right? And I don't think like there's too many people that ever had watched New York Ripper and said, "Wow, who could this be?" What else? I would say, Logan, that like at this point, this is like the fifth one, like in the last year and a half. So I've heard rumors of The Living Dead at Manchester Morgue, which for me is a really, I don't know if you've seen that one or if you did. It's definitely check it out because I found it, I personally thought it was a really good one. So definitely I could see that one coming out next. I'm trying to see where my Blue Underground's at to kind of give me an idea of what possibly they could do, which they still have the rights to. Um, I'm not sure if they have the rights to Torso now, but I could see them doing Torso. You could work well with a lenticular with Torso, get a 3 disc edition, 2 discs with the CD type of thing. I could definitely see that. Oh, that is cool, dude. That is pretty cool. Congratulations. But I can see my Blue Undergrounds from over there. I'm not sure who put it Sleep. I would love to see Sleepless come out again. But I don't think they did that one. Let's see, Blue Underground. I'm literally looking at them. So yeah, Living Dead in Manchester Morgue for sure. Torso if they got the rights to it. Final Countdown actually Warlock. I was actually just looking at that one. Let me just grab a couple of my Blue Undergrounds. They're just right there, and we'll look at we'll kind of guesstimate what possibly could come next, and in what order. Like you think that these guys that they're going to bring these out. All right, so I got my entire Blue Underground collection right here. Which of these they said the rights for, but we'll look at them and see uh, what they could possibly, what they could put out. Toolbox Murders mug is one that I seriously want to see them come out with. At least 5 years, yeah, yeah. After what they did to Arrow with Django, I don't think that's a good decision. Uh, this for sure. Like this is Toolbox Murders. If you've never seen this movie, it's actually a really cool movie. It stars Cameron Mitchell and Wesley Uri, and I know this was remade later on by I think by Tobe Hooper, right? But it was a very loose remake, in pretty much in name alone. But this was actually based on a true story, and it's just extremely well done. Now this release here just has like a commentary and an interview with Marion Waltzreiner, not pretty much not anything else. If any movie like in their collection really needs a new 4K restoration with with some really nice killer features, Toolbox Murders would. And can you imagine like the lenticular cover with this dude on it? Oh yeah, it's their story, Dick Town. Yeah, they're they're putting it the Fulci one, the House by Cemetery. So I would double dip on this. This is a double dip. If this comes out in a 4K restoration with a lenticular cover, I'm double dipping. Like hands down, that is a certain double dip for me. Old Bud's already sold out. I would be really surprised if any, even though I think these are amazing editions and probably don't at this point need a new restoration. I'm sure that Blue Underground are definitely going to dip into the Maniac Cop well again. This is Lustig's baby. This is his thing. If they ever do another Maniac Cop film, or if they remake it or anything like that, you gotta think that Lustig is definitely going to go back to his first love, and these are great editions. Like look at these two editions; they look incredible, and they have some amazing special features on it. That being said, yes, I would 110% double dip for a Maniac Cop like 4K a restoration lenticular. I can't remember the soundtrack to Toolbox Murders, but I want it. I know I would want it. I love Cameron Mitchell, right? A Maniac box set. Well, they did Maniac so recently. I can't see them doing anything like I mean like Maniac Cop box set. The rights to Maniac Cop, the first one, is owned or was owned last time I checked by Synapse. Synapse actually put out Maniac Cop. That's why you only see parts 2 and 3 by Blue Underground. Now that being said, if they could do it, I'm sure they would. However, I don't think they'd put out a box set. Uh, I think what they do is they would put out like three, ones like three like this. Now, unless they're nervous that Maniac Cop 3 is not going to sell as well as Maniac Cop 1 and 2, and they want to box set it that way. In that case, it will be interesting to see what they do with something like that. I would like to see if they did, like, say if they did something like a Maniac Cop box set, if they did like a lenticular cover for the box set. I really think that that they desperately need to keep with this. More money, that's exactly it. More money in individual releases. Only problem is this is not a very well liked film, but there's going to be people that are going to buy it. I mean, yeah, Anthony, I agree with you. Um, of course, we got a good edition of Venom recently, so not sure if we need another edition of this one right yet. And I think this would be way down the road because of the recent edition. Same with Raw Meat. Like Raw Meat definitely is one that's been done recently. You're not going to see a new one of Raw Meat done in any time in the near future. So we can put those aside. Toolbox Murders is a much more likely candidate for something in the near future for them doing. Also, God told me to. Again, we got like regular edition here. It's a Larry Cohen film. Unfortunately, Larry Cohen passed away this year. So if there's a movie that definitely like rings of like something that they can really promote heavily, it's one of Cohen's masterpieces in my opinion, and it's severely under. People don't talk about it enough. It's a way better film than people realize. And I find when people finally see it, then they realize, wow, I've not seen this movie before. But I can desperately see like a really good dish to that coming. I think we're not going to get this one any time in the near future. Exactly. Frailty actually has a lot of similarities to God Told Me To. I don't think this one's going to come in any time in the near future, but I think down the road, we'd look maybe, like someone mentioned, at 5, 6 years, you could be seeing something like that. Maybe a little bit sooner, it depends. Of course, as you guys know, I have many versions of the New York Ripper, but I do need the new one. Actually, I'm getting to that one. So this was recently put up by Arrow. So I don't think we're going to see like this come anytime in the near future. It's a really good movie though. If you haven't got the Arrow edition, I do recommend it. The next one is one I would kill to have a 4K restoration of with a big lenticular cover. Like 110%. This is one of the most exciting ones for me. And that is Stage Fright. This is Mikel Save. Haven't we all, man? When is Massacre at Central High coming out? I would definitely like if you've never seen this movie, get on it. This is an incredible film. The owl mask in this is extremely creepy. It freaked me out when I was a kid. And how freaky is this movie? My better half is from Morocco, and she saw this movie when she was a kid as well, and it freaked her out. So different continents, both scared by stage fright. You saw a lot of cool people, man. But can you imagine, guys, them putting this out with a zombie-like edition with the 2 discs and the soundtrack? Stage Fright is right for a soundtrack. CD, you definitely would be a great CD for this one. With a nice lenticular cover, maybe with the owl mask on the front. Who wouldn't buy that? I'd buy that. The Kindred. Massacre Central High is my. I want the Kindred. Massacre Central High is the one that I've been waiting for a long time. If anything, I'm wondering if the soundtrack is kind of like maybe the thing that's keeping that one like from being released so far. That's the only thing I can think of. Either that or maybe they don't have the print that they wanted. But do you think they'd say something? Did they say something? I haven't heard anything on it. Yeah, this seems like eventually an obvious choice. And that is The Prowler. Incredibly great slasher film with amazing special effects by Tom Savini. Would be a perfect complement to Maniac, also with effects by Tom Savini, and a really killer of an ending. Tenebrae, by the way, Asian movie enthusiast, is my favorite soundtrack of all giallos, like across the board. See, Prowler, this is a strong one, Brian. This definitely is a strong like case for something that could come out. I don't think you can compare them. Aside from the Tom Savini special effects, Maniac is a psychological thriller, kind of dealing with some pretty serious mental issues. I'm gonna kill Nan. Hold on a second. So I'm not that nice a guy. The Prowler is a slasher film, first and foremost. And as you guys mentioned, you would love to see an addition of Shockwaves. I desperately agree. I think, again, the lenticular for Shockwaves writes itself, and you can see it. You can see how cool it will look. Desperately need an upgrade. Would love to have a 4K edition of this. I want the soundtrack. I want like a 2 disc edition. I want this to look sexy. I want it to be a lenticular cover. I want it to be really cool. And in my collection, definitely one that I would grab. 110% would grab that. The next one I probably wouldn't. Is this Blue Underground? No, it's not. It just got stuck in the Blue Undergrounds. Uh, yeah, this Grinders release. Oh, I got a Grinders releasing I didn't know I had. Okay, there we go. Uh, okay. Uh, Sid the Living Dead. Not sure what the rights issue is on that one. I don't think we're going to see any of the. You know, they're doing House by the Cemetery, so I can kind of picture this. Really? See, that's even cooler, Brian. That's even cooler. But again, I bought this edition of Sid the Living Dead because it had different features than my Arrow one had. So they came between my 3 editions of Sid the Living Dead. I got a pretty comprehensive features list on that film. It would be one that I would buy if they put in an edition of it, but it's not. I would not. Wouldn't be a first day grab, right? It's weird to think that underwater Nazi films is actually a subgenre. Uh, of course, with Martino, they could always go with Mountain of the Cannibal Gods. I think it's getting the right combination of it, Asian. Basically, I would love to see Arrow put out what the one Arrow needs to put out. Like, forget. Hey, Kathy, welcome. Uh, I would love to see them put out like I want an Ultimate Arrow to put out an Ultimate Edition of Four Flies and Grey Velvet. That's there's the one for me if they're going to do anything. It's a pretty decent one. I mean, I liked it. I'm not a big cannibal person, but I actually did enjoy this film. Uh, Good cast too. We got Stacy Keach, Ursula Andress, of course, the beautiful Ursula Andress. So the next one I can't see. I might be wrong. I'd be very surprised, but I don't see this being like anything coming out in the near future. Uh, is this the uncut version? Yeah. This one here is actually. I'm pretty sure this one's the uncut version. Yeah, because I did look it up afterwards. Uh, was this before she was in Doctor No? I don't think so. No. This is way after Doctor No. This is in '78. Um, but ironically, I was at a yard sale, and there was like they had like 3 movies on the table. This was one of them, and they're all $1 each. So this was unopened, by the way. Mountain of the Cannibal Gods. There was a documentary on the Civil War and a religious film. So it was a really weird combination. So I picked up this and I picked up the documentary on the Civil War. I didn't grab the religious film. But yeah, so they put out H.G. Wells' The Shape of Things to Come film. Uh, can't see this being like a huge seller. I'm guessing maybe eventually they'll get. I like it. Maybe eventually they'll get to it. It's a great cast. I mean, look at it. Jack Palance, Carol Lindley, Barry Morris, John Arlen, Nicholas Campbell, Eddie Benton. Fun film, but it's not Maniac. It's not New York Ripper. It's not going to like elicit the same response as like House by the Cemetery is. So I don't think this is going to be anything in the kind of in the near future. Unfortunately, Conquest was recently put out by another company, and that's really too bad because I would much rather have had Conquest done by Blue Underground. It's not, it's definitely not Lucio Fulci's best film. It's so-so. Like, to be completely honest, be blunt, I love Fulci stuff, and I love like kind of like swords and sorcery type of films. This is okay. I got this on a T-shirt, by the way, but it's not a great film. Um, but I have heard rumors, strong rumors. Stacey Keach deserves it, the Daytona. That Living Dead Manchester at Manchester Morgue is getting a release. That's it's still it's rumored, but that's what I've heard so far. Is that this one looks like a strong release. It's fun. I mean, I just wish that the company that put it out wasn't the company that put it out. I would rather have had Blue Underground do it. We would have got a bigger release. Um, oh, Synapse is putting this out. I'm not going to swear. Hey, James. Um, that I was so hoping that this would be a Blue Underground lenticular cover release. I'm not excited about Synapse doing this because I know what this is going to be. This is going to be a steelbook. It's going to be super expensive. It's going to take them a while to put out, and then I'm going to have to end up waiting until they eventually do the Blu-ray edition of it, and grabbing that one when it goes down in price somewhere. Um, this would be if this was a lenticular done by Blue Underground with a CD. I'm there. And I do like Synapse, don't get me wrong. I love a lot of the stuff that they do, but for me here in Canada, Synapse is a very expensive company. Oh, this is really good actually, Cool Blue. Definitely worth checking out. This is Ray Lovelock is in this one, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he is. Anything with Ray, I'm a big fan of Ray Lovelock, so definitely Arthur Kennedy's in this movie as well. Um, I found this one to be really fun. I was super surprised because, as you can see, it does not have the best cover. I think, yes, by far and large, in much the way that you see lenticulars coming out from 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 Blue Underground. Synapse's thing is steelbooks, and the steelbook editions obviously are more expensive. And not only that, but steelbook editions, when people buy them, and people do buy them, they help to fund the restoration of other films. So I have nothing against them. It's just extremely expensive for me to buy them here in Canada. The only Synapse steelbooks that I got are I was lucky enough that a viewer picked it up for me, and I am forever grateful for that. Synapse is very slow, Kathy, getting their stuff done, but they're very meticulous. You can pretty much be assured that there's not gonna be a need of replacement like disc thing for Synapse. They are pretty good with that type of stuff. And somebody mentioned this one before, and I do think this is definitely would definitely be in the running. If this actually, here's already a lenticular cover for this film, and this is the Final Countdown. I personally really enjoyed the Final Countdown. I do think this is a cool edition. This is an old edition, by the way, guys. This was like the bonus, this limited edition. So this is the number 32,649 of 100,000. So there's a time, guys, when putting out a limited 100,000 of the Final Countdown was considered a viable option. So think how much it has changed. Like we get things where like with 3,000 copies and like 2,000 copies, and like we get like hand numbered stuff with 100 copies or 200 copies. But there's a time when they'd sit around the table and they'd say, you know what? Let's put out 50,000 of those and make it limited, and that would be totally good with that. That would be like a big, that would be a big thing. So 100,000, yeah, exactly. It is a great addition. I'm not gonna like lie. I mean, there's a bonus disc here. We get some kind of few extras. Definitely needs an upgrade though. Definitely a film that needs an upgrade. But that's my Blue Undergrounds that I got in my collection. Black Belly of the Tarantula. Who put that out? Did Blue Underground put that out? Because they had like a few Giallos. I got some more Blue Underground or somewhere. I don't remember where they are now. They did a few Giallos. I know that. There's even a kind of a Giallo collection for Blue Underground. I know they did like a few Argentos. Yep. But I would love to see them do like this. Looks to be, unless alligator is awesome. I would love to see alligator come out. Unless I'm totally wrong and with the fifth release coming out, House by the Cemetery, I don't see this being, I don't see this going in a different way. I see this basically being, this is Blue Underground's thing. This is what they're doing now. This is what they're sticking behind. Did Scream? I don't think Scream Factory did the final countdown. Not as far as I know. Lizard and Woman's Skin. Actually, Mondo Macabre put out the ultimate edition of Lizard and Woman's Skin. It is amazing. I'm not sure if you got that one or not. Um, Good double feature. But that I would strongly recommend if you can get your hands on the Blu-ray of like Lizard and Woman's Skin by Mondo Macabre. It is an excellent edition with some amazing special features. It's a great transfer as well, and it's one of my favorites. Well, I guess on time travel, a lot of them did that. Uh, but uh, but yeah, if you don't have Lizard and Woman's Skin, go to Mondo Macabre. If it's still available, definitely grab it. One of my favorite giallos, actually. It's like it's high up on my list of favorite giallos, right up there with stuff like Your Vice's Locker Room, and I Only Have the Key, Tenebrae, and Don't Torture Duckling. Lizard and Woman's Skin is high on my list of favorite Strange Vice and Miss Ward of giallos that I truly love. Actually, I'll show you. Hold on a second. Because there are so many good things that they can do, and there's so many places that Blue Underground can go with this. What we're seeing right now, though, we're seeing a strong emphasis towards the horror and a strong emphasis towards the Italian horror specifically, and that's because right now that sells that's strong on the list. So this, by the way, was the what's my most expensive out of print Blu-ray? Honestly, Daikatana, I don't know, because I'm one of those shameful collectors that honestly I don't keep up. I have no idea when I get a movie that's out of, unless somebody tells me. If I show you a movie and like on here somebody says, "Oh, that's out of print," usually I don't know. I don't know when a movie's out of print. Wouldn't even know where to look to find out. Like, okay, is there a list online of out of print movies? Um, it's still available. So perfect down. So this is it right here, A Lizard in a Woman's Skin. It's incredibly well done. Feature-wise, it's a brand new transfer on here. Shedding the Skin documentary, that's really good. Dr. Lucio Fulci's Day for Night, directed by Antoinette DeLillo. Interview with writer Stephen Thrower. Interview with actor Tony Adams. Audio commentary with Chris Gavin. Original trailers and radio spots. Italian, English language subtitle choices. Mon Macabre previews. It's a ton of stuff. It doesn't seem like there's a lot on there. But it actually is. I mean, it is super solid with what they did. It is an all region release, so you see ABC right there on it, and incredible amount of features on here. Some very very well done stuff. So if you've never checked out, if you don't own Mon Macabre's edition of Lizard in a Woman's Skin, I strongly recommend it. It's definitely one of the stronger giallos that was done. Now that being said, I'm going to say this right now. If you are an animal lover, there's a nightmare sequence in this one here that has like, and no animal is hurt, just so you know that. But there's an incredibly well done special effects sequence that includes like these dogs that are opened up, like they're ripped open type of thing in a nightmare sequence. No dogs or anything were hurt in the film. This is all special effects, but it is an extremely well done sequence. Just kind of giving you a heads up on that one. But yeah, Mon Macabre are super. I got to agree with Ward. Are super easy to deal with. Around 2 years ago, when I moved to Nova Scotia, Christmas time came around, and Mon Macabre had a sale on at that time. It was one of the rare Mon Macabre pieces. I'd never seen a sale from Mon Macabre before. So they had a sale going on at the time, and my better half knew that I liked foreign films, that I liked stuff like that. So she got me a Mon Macabre Christmas, like everything, like almost like I got a bunch, like a huge stack of Mon Macabre DVDs and a few Blu-rays, and they were super easy to deal with. Like he got sick at one point during during putting stuff out, and he he contacted us, let us know it might take a couple extra days. It was very nice guy, very easy to get along with. I would strongly recommend that. Now this green case mug, just so you know, this isn't the one that is normally on this. This was given to me as a birthday gift from somebody, and talk is good. And basically, when they did. What they did was they put it in a green case. They had some colored cases, and they put Lizard and Woman Skin in a green case. So I do, as a fun little side, it's kind of neat to do. If you do get the movie, and you got a chance to go get yourself one of the green cases, as you can see, it does look incredibly good in the colored case. So it's always nice to switch it up a bit like that. There, of course, when it originally came out, there was a red case, but after that, there was a regular blue case as well. But I have the green case, so that's even rarer. Not really, but still, it's fun, and it looks aesthetically pleasing. And the exactly more. So basically, anybody that's never ordered from Mon Macabre before, if you get a red, like you get a red case edition of one of their films, that's their limited edition. If you get the blue case, that's a regular edition. But usually there's not a lot of differences in them. I mean, like it could be a booklet, or it could be like a reversible cover art. So you can easily feel safe about I couldn't afford it. Like Cooper Glover, I really couldn't afford it. Yeah, Red, especially now. Originally, Mon Macabre, like they kind of went under the radar. Shameless stuff is amazing. I love the yellow cases. They kind of flew under the radar for the longest time, but in the last year and a half to 2 years, Shameless, sorry, Mon Macabre, have really kind of upped their game, and people have been like really taking notice of what they've been doing, and their limited edition red cases have been like going like crazy. I mean, like we're talking like Twilight Time levels, like Fright Night Twilight Time levels going fast. I've seen ones that have gone like in a day or two, or some I'll probably see even less for certain ones. Depends on the film really, but either way, I do see the Mon Macabre ones that are going like super fast. Asian movie enthusiasts, if you can look behind me, you can see like a bunch of yellow cases right along there. That's the Shameless collection from the UK, and those they're all in yellow cases, and like 90% of those films are all giallo films. Shameless washing machine is really good. I actually have that edition. Usually in a day, exactly. Right now, I don't think it's out of print. Is washing machine out of print? Let's find out. Maybe you guys know. So this is Shameless's edition of washing machine. The washing machine. It is a steel case and not a steel book or anything. Let's just see. This one, it does say PAL, so it doesn't say all region on it. Just to let you know. Now, when they put it in the washing machine, they put it on DVD, not Blu-ray, so it's easier to go and to grab it. A lot of their stuff is region free though. One of the best looking Shameless releases, and I'll show you this right now, is this one right here, the Bronx Warriors trilogy. Why does Aeroshell sell Shameless on their website? Well, there's a good reason for that actually. Shameless, as a company, they're doing pretty good, but they had issues with their distributor, and they lost distribution for their films. So basically, without a distributor, Shameless would have had to close doors. There would have been no two ways about it. Without a way to distribute your films, obviously you can't make any money. Arrow stepped in. They had distributed like films for other companies as well before. If you check Third Eye Cinema and stuff like that, and said, kind of came to Shameless's rescue, and became the distributor for Shameless films. So that's why you're seeing like Shameless films on like being distributed by Arrow. Now, as far as them having any like hold on any rights or anything like that, I'm not quite sure. I do hope that they will work together in the future to like to maybe to do like a co-production. I think that if if they think of it, then I do think that again, Four Flies and Grey Velvet is the obvious choice for Shameless and Arrow to team up on, to put it like one of those big boxes like they did with like Birth, Crystal Plumage or Cat o' Nine Tails. So if you like those releases, for instance, I could see them doing something like that. Exactly, like Arrow puts out a lot of their own Giallos, and it would have been easy for Arrow to, you know, say no, wait for Shameless to go under, and snipe the rights to those films. Instead, Arrow did, and I'm sure, but it is definitely a strategic move as well. But they could have went, they could have done the WWE way of doing it and just killed their competition and bought it right out. They didn't have to work hand in hand with. But hey, Cinematech, but they did, and that is one of the reasons that I admire a lot of what Arrow does. And they didn't go out and like definitely they are a big distributor. They weren't always though. You have to remember Arrow's really, it's only been 5 years. 5 years, right? Arrow's 5 years, 5 years or 10 years. But it's been so easy for them to just like let it die and just grab those rights. So easy to snipe that stuff. But this is a mutually beneficial way that they can do it. And Shameless has a name. That I'm surprised how many people to this very day are not aware of Shameless. 10 years. Thanks, Cinematech. I always get that. I think I get it confused, Cinematech, because of Vinegar Syndrome's 5 films, 5 years, where they're going into they got into the 6th year now. Oh, that's right, The Killer Nun. Is anybody picking up The Killer Nun? I'm going to be honest with you. Not one of my favorite films that Shameless put out. So not something that I'm super like big into getting a new edition of, unless there's some really great features. Shameless, oh, they do both. I mean, tell you what, let's go over to my Shameless again, okay? That's where we just came from. Let's look at some of the Shameless stuff. Only one you have is Cannibal Holocaust. Actually, ironically, I thought this was a Blue Underground release, but it's not. But this here is a Cannibal Ferox, is a Grindhouse. I think this might be my only Grindhouse releasing DVD. I think they have some that are region free. Actually, I know they have some that are region free because we just looked at them. So let me pick out a couple of my favorite Shamelesses here. So as you can see, how big of a fan of New York Ripper am I? Well, I also have the Shameless edition of New York Ripper as well. But that being said, like I showed you the washing machine, that is a region-free release. Now the version of Amsterdam was probably is definitely one that's not region-free. They put in some really cool, like, kind of gimmicky things too. I picked up this one here, which is a Formula for a Murder. And this one, so the killer kills people in a yellow rain slicker. They call it a Mac in the UK. So this release actually comes with a Mac that you can put over yourself with Shameless on it. Now this here is region free. As you can see right there, the big 0 on it. Now it does say it'll say PAL on the back, but if you look in the inside, a lot of these actually are region free. This is the 10th Victim, which is a cool different one for them, and This is a 2-disc edition, Blu-ray and DVD, and this one is the DVD for Shores region free. Blu-ray, not quite sure. I think the Blu-ray might be region locked. But again, this is like one of the numbered ones. You can see like there's a few limited editions that they did as well. Things like the Deodato Cinema of Blood. That's the one. This is the 10th Victim in Italian. Yeah, I think so. Like they always try to put like the Italian, but yeah, English and Italian audio with English subtitles. So you can have it in like in the dubbed, or you can have an Italian subtitled version of it as well. So you can go either way with that one. I usually go to subtitled edition myself, unless it's a movie that I've watched like a few times, and sometimes I'm like reviewing it and I'm like taking notes. This is a really good Deodato set that they put out. And there's 3 films on this one here. We got Cannibal Holocaust, House on the Edge of the Park, and Phantom of Death. And when you open it up, they actually do have 3. But there is a few. I want to see over here. I'm trying to look because I had to be careful because some of the Shameless releases have nudity on the cover. Like I can't take out, for instance, what's it called? Don't Torture a Duckling. That actually has nudity on the cover itself, on the release itself. So I can't actually take that one out. But I would 110% recommend, if you like giallo at all, make sure this is something that's in your in your case. Also, and these are all region 0, by the way. Andrea Bianchi's Strip Nude for Your Killer. If you don't know. And as you can, I'll show you guys here. You can see that hopefully you can see that the Shameless releases, like they spell out Shameless on the spine, which I'm hoping you guys can see right now because I can't see what you're seeing. See, Shameless has put out some amazingly great stuff. I do apologize, I missed a bunch of stuff here. 88 Films does some incredible stuff. Oh, the Anaconda's back. I saw that. It looks really nice, actually. Ratman. Ratman's a different one. That's for sure. Ratman is one of those that I would say pick up at your own discretion. It's a bit of a weird film, but it's fun. As you guys know, I like the weird films. Just out of frame because my nose is getting a little runny. I'm getting some allergies, and it is not pleasant. But there's a lot coming. You do not need to see me that close up. That's the cool thing about Ratman. It's such a weird concept. It's not something that you have to like think. What's the strategy behind somebody? Like, where's the mindset comes? Like, you know what a good movie is? Let's do a movie about a Ratman. That sounds like a good idea. That's going to be a hit. Obviously, they had more inventive minds than me to put something like that out. Like, definitely 110%. They had more inventive minds than me. So weird. What? Actually, I got to go soon too because I'm actually going to have an earlier night of it tonight. But I did want to come in. I wanted to talk about the Blue Underground. I want to talk about basically where they could be going and where I think they're going, and some of the releases that could be coming in the near future. Shameless, actually, I'm glad somebody mentioned Shameless. I do always like to get there where I can actually talk about another company or get another company into the mix as well. Oh, that's a shame because it looks so nice. I mean, at this point, it's like the soft boxes seem like we've had them for years, right? This is kind of what we had like most of the time, but now we got like like companies like Arrow and uh, in addition and like putting out the boxes and like the Nightbreed box came from Scream Factory. Nowadays, when you see like a thin box again, you're kind of disappointed. Like when 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 Arrow announced that they're putting out Deep Red and they put it like a thin box for Deep Red. What I think is the most underrated, overrated, and most underrated labels. Okay, I'm gonna get some heat for this, but I'll answer the question. Uh, Although I love them dearly, and I do collect their stuff, and I'm picking up Godzilla. Overrated is probably Criterion, and that's nothing against their titles. I love Criterion titles, like 100%. They do amazing restorations. I don't always think that they go that extra mile when it comes to some of the features. I do think that they skimp a bit on some of the features. I don't always think that their essays in the books are always the best. I know, keep it lower. Don't hate me for it. I love again, love Criterion, love their stuff. But if I had to say most, to be objectively honest, I can't think of a company that is more like you got to have this, you got to have this, you got to have that. What's your criterion? So obvious. So for that reason alone, even though I love their stuff, yeah, Criterion for me is probably the most over rated. And that being said, they put out stuff like the Ingmar Bergman set and Zadiichi. So that's basically just because I had to pick a company. I can't think of another company that could fit that one. But again, I love their stuff. BFI is definitely an underrated. BFI Flipside more so because people know BFI. I talk to people about BFI Flipside. Most people don't know BFI Flipside, and if they do, they've got a couple in their collection, but they don't even think. They just think of them as a BFI. They don't realize it's the flip side, like subgenre of sublabel of BFI. Uh, about a year or so ago, What's the Vinegar Syndrome? Nowadays, I do think that they've made their way. They're definitely not the underdog anymore. But I do love a lot of stuff they do. I do think that to this very day, um, that Indicator, yes, I do think Indicator is underrated, but they're getting to the point where you can't consider them one of the most underrated anymore because they're starting to really pick up steam. We're really seeing Indicator really collectors are talking about them. Kino is a solid company pretty much all the way through. But I can't see Kino's underrated anymore because they're Scream Factory definitely Cinematheque. I would definitely put them like as in Criterion as being like overrated, especially recently. But underrated, and here a company nobody talks about. Like no, I think aside from my channel, I don't think anybody talked about it. And that's MVD Rewind. It's not nobody comes out like showing their MVD Rewind collections online except for me. Vinegar Syndrome is right there. I mean, they're not overrated. I don't think they're underrated. I think that they've kind of hit their niche, and that's good. I don't see them like being over on like they're perfectly in the spot where they want to be. And I do think that Indicator is pretty much getting into that spot right now. But when you're looking at companies like Second Sight, which about a year or so ago I would have definitely said they're under, and I still think they're underrated a bit. They're definitely getting more known and more notice, especially with the stuff that they're putting out. But they put out a lot of stuff. I mean, there's MVD Marquee. MVD Rewind puts out a lot of different stuff. I love Vinegar Syndrome. Like it's unabashed. Like obviously, you know, they don't, everything they put out isn't good, obviously, but it's Vinegar Syndrome is the closest for me to saying if I was going to go into a video store, what company like is as close to walking into a video store than as any other company, like the closest to going into a video store, and all around like bar none. Criterion's not close to going to a video store unless you're going into like an art store. Scream Factory is not close to going into a video store unless you're going and you're just going into the horror section. And Shout Select is close, is get closer to that. Vinegar Syndrome is as close as you get to going into like a video store with a lot of their films. Umbrella, extremely underrated. Umbrella puts out such incredible stuff. I don't know if you guys have seen. My dad has this. I don't have this one yet. The release Man from Hong Kong, but insanely good. I mean, there's like movie for bonus feature. There's a bunch of movies for bonus features on Man from Hong Kong. Definitely check it out, guys. It's one of my dad's like picks for like definitely release, one of his big releases that he that he got. They will. I mean, like James, you got to see with not just Don Dead, but Martin too is gonna, because Martin is one that like Don Dead obviously is gonna be a big one for people. Dead and Buried is one, Anthony, that I expect from Blue Underground. Because they're the, as far as I can remember, they're the last ones to put it out. I don't know Monster. That's the reason. But I would say that some of the best releases going are. But when it comes to that, like I said, like with Vinegar Syndrome, basically the reason I love them so much is they are as close to like walking into a corner video shop as I can imagine. They have the cheesy action. They have the adult stuff that would be behind the would be hiding behind that infamous curtain. They have like low budget sci-fi and horror. They literally have stuff that you would, if you walked into like a corner store or something, you saw them have like a small video rack type of thing, like on the side of their, or in the back of the store. You see them with like maybe like 40 or 50 like VHS lined up against the wall. You can rent them for $2 and they have a section there which you rent for $1. That's what Vinegar Syndrome reminds me of, and that's the reason that I think I love them so much. How did you find Hellmaster? The only thing I remember about Hellmaster, Kathy, and this is the honest to God's truth, is it was that VHS movie with the horrible cover. I was amazed. Like my dad like showed me when I was at their house, his release for The Man from Hong Kong, and there were just like features upon features on there, and like of movies, of actual, not like featurettes, not like 10-minute featurettes, but actual movies. There's like 3 or 4 movies on there, like as bonuses. Umbrella has been killing it. They put out road games first. People are excited. Scream Factory is putting out road games. Yeah, see, I don't know. I cannot tell you a second Hellmaster. And the trailer collections. But yeah, people got super excited. Road games coming from Scream Factory. I got news for you. There's a great edition of road games already out there right now, put out by Umbrella. Their edition of Fair Game, incredible. Anchor Bay was a company that I loved. I loved Anchor Bay, and obviously now I don't know if they can ever get back to being what they were. I don't think they can. It would take somebody to come in, be a real visionary, and take some super big chances, and really like steer Anchor Bay, because right now Anchor Bay is the same as E1. Basically, they're putting out random stuff, like low budget horror stuff that went in the circuit that nobody else picked up, that type of thing. Maybe some IFC stuff. But Anchor Bay at one time, we have to give credit where credit is due. Anchor Bay came out, they led the way, and people talk about like Criterion with the Laserdisc and stuff like that, but a lot of people know Hammer because of Anchor Bay. A lot of people know Argento because of Anchor Bay. And Warlock, 100% right. When Stars came along and they grabbed Anchor Bay, they went on. It really, you could see the quality like slipping, like almost immediately, and it just kept dwindling down till you got to the point where they are now, where if you go out and you buy an Anchor Bay one, you what? It's like 10, $12. And you say, do I really need the Blu-ray? I'll just buy the DVD. Remember this? Yeah, the six packs were incredible. Tartan's not around anymore, I don't think. Are they still? See, Tartan was a company that that really got successful with their with J Hor. Like the, obviously they did their the other stuff as well, but the J Hor stuff was super successful when it came to Tartan. But when J Hor went, kind of fizzled out, then Tartan, kind of same thing. We kind of got that the same thing as well. But somebody mentioned Vestron Video. They were great releases. Vestron Video is an incredible company that puts some great stuff. Again, I see Vestron Video in the same way that I see MVD Rewind. I think that I don't know if I consider them underrated. Yeah, Vestron is kind of underrated, but the fact is that Vestron's expensive. Vestron overprices their films for what they put into them, like highly. They do. I'm gonna grow it there. I love Vestron. You guys know I got a Vestron collection, but I do think that they overprice their films. That being said, when it comes to their sets, they're usually pretty good price. Alpha Video is different. I mean, like here's the thing, Alpha Video puts out like a lot of stuff that that other people like really aren't looking at, and they put them out with great cases, with some fantastic artwork, uh, but usually the quality is lesser. That's the thing. You get a trade off. You get stuff that you're not going to get anywhere else, but the reason that you see some Vestrons like being cheaper in the UK, just to let you, I would surmise that some of the reasoning behind that is because they chintz out a bit. Waxworks here in North America is like Waxworks 1 and 2. Waxworks in UK is Waxworks. There's a couple releases where they did that in, but for other ones that I want, I probably would go with that. Twilight Time is one. There's a company that I would consider overrated. Twilight Time is a company like for a long time I consider them extremely overrated. Not numbered in the UK. Oh, that would kill me. I got OCD. Like everybody has a little bit of OCD. I got a little bit of it as well. But like not having like numbered ones and then having one that's not numbered. See, I collect like some people who don't collect MVD Rewind. Vinny, completely agree. But I collect MVD Rewind, and they're numbered. I bought Double Dragon at Walmart. Now every other MVD Rewind has this cool slipcover on it. My Double Dragon doesn't have a slipcover. I would kill for the Double Dragon MVD Rewind slipcover because it looks so out of place in my collection without that slipcover. But I really wanted that movie, and it was a really good price. So yeah, underrated. Companies like that are underrated. Uh, yeah, that's the thing. It is kind of like VHS or a step up from VHS, but they're fun films and they're usually like quick films. Uh, Poundland and Canada. Well, I guess in a way, Warlock, Dollarama is kind of like Poundland. Back in the day, like now, you're Dollarama. You're lucky if you get like 2 or 3 Blu-rays there, at all, right? But when I was in London, I remember I was going to we're at a not a flea market so much, but like one of the but something similar to it. But it was mostly like art and like food and stuff like that. So anyway, so I got a curry and went to CX, and then we went to Poundland. I actually got some stuff at Poundland. I got an EastEnders DVD, and I picked up digging up the marrow. Yeah, I picked up digging up the marrow as well, and I got a couple Blu-rays. although you think we're not missing much, it's better than we got right now, unfortunately. It's getting really, really difficult here for collecting physical media in like out in the wild. You know, uh, that's the thing. I mean, if you're up in Ontario, Warlock's up in Ontario, for instance, if you're up in Ontario, there's places to go. Right now, Kathy, it's probably Godzilla. That's probably my most anticipated one. I don't know what what Vinegar Syndrome's uh, box set in October is going to be. Aside from that, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to be completely honest, and it's not horror related, or it's not like, hey, Worm Strikes. Uh, I would have to say that I'm super excited for Trial of a Time Lord, and uh, I do want like to get that release. That's one that I ordered from the UK so that I could get one of those special big box sets. Whereas I got like North American editions of all the rest of them. Trial of a Time Lord, Colin Baker, like season 23, series 23. Yeah, that's a big release for me. That one and Godzilla, of course. Godzilla is going to be huge in more ways than one. It's going to be definitely going to be a huge release. Yeah, my kitty, you're stuck there, aren't you? You okay? Oh, well, I got Phantasm. I mean, like, see the thing. I mean, like, Arrow put out this amazing edition of Phantasm, with the with the spear in it, and a great book, amazing features like documentaries. So yeah, I mean, like, yeah, you stuck with the North. We talked about it before. I think you stuck with the North American ones like me, right? I got to get at least one of the UK ones. Like they're definitely well done, but they've been so like as soon as they come out, they usually like go right away. So I figured if I was going to grab one UK one, then I had to get like the Colin Baker Trial of a Time Lord. It's its own thing, and it's definitely got some of the better features on there. I got the Pertwee one like pre-ordered. That's series 10, I think, which is probably the fourth season for Pertwee. I found some neat stuff at CX. I'd have to go back there. It's been a couple times. Yes, I'm glad you asked actually. So we're talking about tonight. Uh, my better half did really well. Like is definitely doing really well in the position that she's in right now. In the next couple years, we do plan to start like our move to Morocco. Even if things happen family wise, or if like good job positioning comes up, we might go a little bit sooner. Um, but yeah, we have she's got we got the condo there. I'm looking forward. I'm taking like teaching English as a second language course to because basically when I get to Morocco, I'm semi-retired at that point. So anything that I do like within there is going to be like like teaching, maybe doing a little, so like some film, so some film groups, maybe a couple film classes, stuff like that. Teach some English, and basically when I want to shop for super life changing Logan. When I want to shop for stuff, then I'll just I'll just London is just 4 hours away on a flight. Uh, Morocco's really laid back. My better half's from Morocco. We have I been a teacher before? Not officially. I got like I never got my teaching degree, obviously, but it's something that I felt like really strongly. But obviously, that's why I'm doing the teaching as a second language course. I got my Labac literacy degree earlier, much earlier, and I did tutoring, that type of thing. But I plan to go into teaching, and things changed around. You are adorable. He is so needy tonight, and it's so cute. Scaredy is down there, and he is like, we had company. Like we got my dad and my stepmom are here. Oh, my dad's in the hospital right now, but so he gets like nervous when people are around. So this is his first time coming down for the last couple of days. He just comes down at night to sneak down and get food and stuff like that, and usually goes back up again. Dude, so cannot speak French. Actually, I'm trying to speak French. Oh yeah, French is like, you would think, Arabic would be the big language in Morocco. French is definitely the big language. And in Morocco, there's a. Let me show you, Kitty. 1 second. I'm gonna see if I can show you here. Yeah. Uh huh. You're adorable. So French is spoken pretty much by almost everybody in Morocco. So like, most people do know French. More people know French than English, and it's broken up into different dialects. There's the native that speak Berber, and like, kind of like the more old school. So like, think of it like indigenous, like here in like in North America, like the indigenous, the tribes, like where they would have their own, like their language. Um, movie, the export business. It's done differently over there. They've got a lot people. Me specifically was very surprised. I expected, because honestly, guys, before I went over to Morocco, I'm not smart when it comes to geography, not at all. I knew nothing. Oh yeah, we're a bilingual country. French is like really big here. Um, I knew nothing about like what Morocco was like, how big it was, how small it was. So my better half told me, I'm going to be blunt with you. She was from North Africa, um, and even before she said Morocco. Yep, that's where she was born actually. My better half, she was born in Casablanca. Her sister lives there right now. Um, but I said, "Wow, this must be exciting for you to be in a big place like Newfoundland, with all our cool stuff." Montreal's amazing. Go to the plateau, by the way. Make sure you go to the plateau. Go to Schwartz's. Definitely get one of their smoked, get a Montreal smoked meat sandwich. Trust me, I don't even usually like that type of stuff. It's delicious. And go to Juliet at Chocolat as well. It's a fantastic place there as well. They got some great stuff there. Great chocolate, great chocolate, some great crepes too. But yeah, so I guess so. Basically, I was totally wrong. So we fly in there. We fly into Marrakesh, and we get out, and her, hey Paul, and so her, so the chauffeur comes up, and we're driving back. I do not speak French, and and I'm seeing like it's at night, so I'm seeing lights. I'm like, wow, there's like a lot of there's like there's a lot of lights. There's a lot of places here, and the next day we went in town, and holy crap, like the malls are huge. It's an incredible urban setting. I was so embarrassed because they could take my entire like city, one of my biggest cities, and it would still wouldn't fit part of Morocco. We went out on train to Casablanca, and if you've never been to the Casablanca Mall and you get in that area, oh my God, go to the Casablanca Mall. They had like this huge, like tank with like sharks and all that swimming through, and fish, and there's like this area where there's kind of like a mini kind of roller coaster and stuff there. Um, Hopefully he should be. I mean, he's in the on the IV now, so we'll I'll keep you guys updated on that. Say creme brulee. We're hiring a French tutor for me actually, for when we go over to Morocco. That's one of the things that we're doing. Like I'm trying with certain things, but honestly, I'll be honest with you, like now it's a lot of it's not sticking really well. But so basically, right now, what we decided to do is once we like her uncle bought us a condo in Morocco. Thank you. I'm not sure if those statues of bogey there. I know that if you go to Essaouira, Logan, they made a lot of films there, and that was one of Orson Welles' favorite places. So he did Othello there. So if you go there, it's really laid back, kind of a surfing town. Essaouira is kind of like, think about like the people, like the hippie type people from the 70s, right? The surfers and stuff like that, like the really chill people. And and you wonder nowadays where they went. Essaouira is where they went. There's like surf shops and stuff like that. There, actually, he's. I think it's frozen up on me. Can you guys hear me? Okay. Like if you can hear me, just let me know. I'll keep talking for a few minutes so you guys can hear me. Um, but yeah, Essaouira has a large like kind of hippie type community, um, and it's probably the most laid back place that I've ever been. It has a huge statue of Orson Welles. Okay, perfect. Thanks. Hopefully it'll break. If it doesn't, we'll go off in a minute anyway. But basically, if you go anywhere, if you want to go anywhere, there, then definitely you're going to want to see Casablanca. It's the big it's a big metropolitan area. Marrakesh it's because last year the year before last, Marrakesh was considered the place to go, was like the vacation spot. Anytime you see a lot of movies and TV shows and it says like it says Egypt or somewhere like that, it's usually in Marrakesh. That's really where they're filming it. When he was in Othello, so in between. Uh, but Essaouira is where the Beatles went to write their White Album, and where Jimi Hendrix used to spend a lot of time, and Orson Welles, and of course Alfred Hitchcock spent a bit of time there as well. Morocco is in, of course, is a remake of The Man Who Knew Too Much. That's well, that's the setting for it anyway. So that's pretty much it there. Now, yeah, Kathy, my dad unfortunately he had a bit of a stomach issue. He had a pancreatic attack and had to go to the hospital. Actually, when I was chatting with you, I was actually chatting with you from the hospital earlier on today. But he's feeling a lot better now, and they're just keep an eye on him for the next couple of days. I hear that. I mean, like, I haven't spent a lot of time in the Quebec area. Now, I've been in Montreal, and I will say Montreal is a super laid back, super chill area. And if there's any place that I can say I really enjoyed is in Canada, like to go to. And I was really nervous when I went going to Montreal because I thought, okay, I don't speak the language, don't speak French. I got lost in Montreal. Thank you. And I said, okay, I'm screwed. But no, like everybody in Montreal speaks English too. They just speak both languages, which is way it should be across Canada, in my opinion. Um, but uh, but yeah. So anyway, this thing looks like it's going to stay frozen up. So I do apologize. We did get like 93 minutes out of there. I want to thank you all for your wishes on my dad. He really will appreciate that. Uh, Dude, Logan, you're welcome anytime, man. Um, and yeah, the good thing about Morocco is spare bedrooms are big. So usually with a spare bedroom, you get a bedroom and a bit of a living area and your own washroom, like with a shower and that. So so it's like a little apartment. I'll explain to you on another video. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys. I do apologize about the frozen, about the frozen picture, but have a great evening. I will see you guys soon. I am Aaron. Thank you guys so much for all the kind words tonight, and really did help out. You guys are the movie club, and you guys rock. You guys are awesome. Uh, Trust me, when I go to Morocco, as long as I can do it, as long as the internet's great, we're still making these vids. And hopefully, uh, wherever I travel after that, because we're planning to do some traveling there as well. Morocco, Canary Islands, London, places like that. Have a great evening, guys, and I'll see you soon.